So I just watched Knock at the Cabin, which I was pretty excited for because the director M. Night Shyamalan, who's really a wild card in the film industry because he'll make one of the best movies you've ever seen and then one of the worst movies you've ever seen. He has a lot of variety as a director, and I don't mean in his style, but in the quality of films. So you never know what you'll get with Shyamalan, but this happens to be more on the good side. Knock at the Cabin was directed by M. Night Shyamalan and follows a family as they go on vacation in a cabin in the woods when strange people break in and tell them that one of them needs to sacrifice themselves in order to prevent an apocalypse. This is one of the few Shyamalan films that is an adaptation rather than an original work, and I think that in this case it worked well for him because he has a clear roadmap to work off of, and I think maybe it helped clear up any convolutions there normally is in his films. Also, all the performances are great, but Dave Bautista, Ben Aldridge, and Jonathan Groff really knocked it out of the park. It's really sad that out of the three big WWE actors, Dave Bautista is the least popular because he's definitely the most talented. He had such a minor role in Blade Runner 2049, yet his performance really impacted me, and he really got to show off his acting chops here, and I hope he gets more attention because of it. Now, if you've seen Shyamalan films, then you'd know that his dialogue can be a bit iffy, even with his best films, and that's definitely the case here. There are lines where I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good line, and then they would just keep on talking and it ruined it because the line would go on too long. Also, the cinematography was great at points, but some of the blocking was really strange. Like a character would be standing and talking, and rather than the focus being on the character, it would put the character in the corner of the screen, and sometimes this can be used well, like in Better Call Saul, but here it just seems unnecessary to me. This film is very intense, with the thrills pretty much starting not even 5 minutes into the film, and it works very well. And it's not even the threat of these people, it's that no one really wants to be there. Obviously, the family being held hostage doesn't want to be there, but neither does the people keeping them hostage. They feel very remorseful for what they're doing, but they feel as though what they're doing is right, and there's just a lot of intense emotions, and it makes things all the more stressful. M. Night Shyamalan is a director with a reputation. Ever since his most iconic film, The Sixth Sense, came out, he's been known as the plot twist guy, which I feel like has kind of set his films back, because minus The Village, he hasn't been able to recapture a plot twist like The Sixth Sense. In my opinion, Unbreakable is his best film, but the weakest part of the film is the attempt at a plot twist. Is the plot twist good? Sure, it's unexpected and it makes sense, but Unbreakable isn't a film that needs a plot twist. So the twist felt more like Shyamalan trying to recapture The Sixth Sense rather than actually adding anything to the film. I say all of that to say this: almost every Shyamalan film has a plot twist of sorts, and this film actually plays around with that idea. Normally, external forces outside of the film shouldn't affect the quality of the film, but here it does because Shyamalan uses his reputation as a plot twist guy to keep you on your toes during the entire film. One major problem I have with this film is there's a pretty big plot detail that's introduced in the beginning and it's not followed through by the end, and it kind of threw me off because you'd think it'd be something to remember. Also, the film is rated R and the violence is almost shied away from, and it doesn't feel intentional. It feels like it was originally meant to be PG-13, but then they just changed it to R. The score for this film is really great. It's super ominous and feels grand like The Stakes, which balances well with a liminal space. And the film's liminal space never gets boring, and it always tries to keep things interesting. In fact, the film isn't boring at all. I was expecting a film with this runtime to feel drawn out, but it was paced very well. Overall, Knock at the Cabin is a very enjoyable film with good performances and thrilling moments. It's definitely an M. Night Shyamalan film in both the good and the bad, but I still enjoyed this, and I give Knock at the Cabin a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on postal notifications. Be sure to follow my socials, link in description, and yet again, thank you for watching.